Hi everyone, let's talk about Roundhouse. And this first came onto my radar because one of the designers, Eros Lin, co-designed Burano from the year before, and I really liked that game. And so, I went over and grabbed this at Essen, and I really like the kind of rondel within a rondel where you can kind of switch back and forth, and if things are blocked off, it's not all over because you can kind of skirt around the side and maybe get to something you kind of want. You're never blocked out completely from what you want to do. There's usually an action available that will let you do it. There's a lot of variability in the game, as with Burano really, because there are 5 of the little places, and you pick 3 of them for a game, and you randomize their positions. The 3 big ones, they're the same every game, but again, you randomize their positions, and that can add a lot of difference to it. The different experts and orders that come out, the order of the amulets and the pirate tokens. There's a lot that can change between your games. I really like the worshipping in the temple system, where you're trying to lay out all of your assistants in a particular way to get you the best bonuses and the best points. And it's interesting because if people have gone for the short-term goal of getting those early points and some resources and things by just spending 1 or 2 assistants, that can permanently affect the rest of the game because everybody gets to skip those points. If you leave an assistant in that first space and it's your only assistant, that's skipped by everybody permanently for every worship after that. So those points right in the corners that are worth 16, 12 points, they're within easier reach. Whereas I remember in our first game we were saving up those assistants loads and then jumping to the huge areas, so it wasn't making it easier for anybody, but we were really going for those points. So yeah, really like the worship system. The 2-player system, I'm not a great fan of. So I mentioned it in this playthrough. There's 2 different ways of doing it. You get 4 family leaders instead of just 2. You also take a neutral colours and grab them as well. And in the first variant, you just make a move with the pawn and it doesn't take a turn. Or the other variant is you make a movement with the neutral guy, who is now rolling around the board, and you do a turn with him. Then you move your guy and do another turn with him. And we played with that for our first game, and it was just a bit much trying to think of, there's a lot going on this this rondel anyway, between what resources are available from the markets, which spaces are still available for you to sell things to. There was a lot going on with where everybody is and what is available on the spaces, without us trying to think of, well, okay then, now it's good in a way, but it was just too much thought that you can think ahead of, well, if I do this move and then do all this cool stuff and get all of this, then I can move my second guy on my second move and skip over him and do all this. Now I've got the resources to do this amazing thing. You can do great combos, but it slowed the game down so much and got us caught so much up in our thoughts that the game took far longer than it should have taken, and it probably lost some of its shine because of that. The other variant, where you are just moving the pawn, you can kind of end up just leaving them in one space and blocking specific things off that the other person wants. There's not really an enforced thing where you have to move one and then the other one. So you can just keep moving one around and around the board and just leave the other in a specific place. So it's kind of a weird balance of that. That one's not very satisfying, and the other one is just too much for us. So something in the middle of them would be really nice with 2. But everything I'm saying about this part is only for 2 players. So if you're not going to be playing it 2 players, or not going to be playing it primarily 2 players, then it's not going to be an issue at all for you. But for us, that's mainly the way we play. 95% of the time we're playing 2 players. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem for us. But without that, hopefully the playthrough gave you an idea of whether it's a game for you. And yeah, I think it's really interesting, you know, rondels within rondels, tons of actions going on, tons of variability, really interesting in, you know, getting the people out to the traveling merchants and then getting them in the worship into the temple. It's a really nice, you know, combination of things that have to happen. There's a really nice timing between where the merchant's going to be. Do you pay to move them around? And do you wait and get more people on there, or do you get them in the temple while the spaces and the amulets and things are available? So really, really nice things going on, and that's Roundhouse. So hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye, everyone.